Before the video starts, I just want to give you guys a quick look at my newest product, the supply bag, now in a camo colorway. So it's made from 900D heavy duty nylon and has 13 unique pockets that fit everything from lighters to books. And it also has 2 laptop sleeves and features this front strap closure detail that keeps everything inside very secure. So if you're a creator on the go or someone who just moves around a lot in general, it's definitely an essential, and it's available now at quattrosupply.com. Thanks guys. Okay, now back to the video. What's good, y'all? In today's video, I'm going to be showing you how to create a simple text-based graphic like this and use that graphic to design a vintage style tee like this using Procreate and my mockups and brushes from Camo Supply Bag. Today's concept is all about locking your design basics, but still giving you full freedom to flip it and use it in any of your creative projects. I really hope you guys can learn something from this, so be sure to follow along and let's jump right into it. So of course, before we get started with any design, we want to go ahead and set up our canvas first. So today's canvas we're going to be working on is going to be 4,000 pixels by 4,000 pixels at 300 dpi. And for today's concept, since we're going with a text-based design, we want to go ahead and start adding in some text. So we're going to go up here to our actions menu, and then we're going to go down to add, and then we're going to add in some text. And I'm going to go ahead and click edit style. And before we even type anything out, and the font that we're going to be using today is called Den Alternate, and it should be in your standard Procreate font library, but if not, I'll be sure to link it in the description below as well. And now that we have our font selected, we want to go to our keyboard, and now what I'm going to be doing is typing out a 4-word quote that I think relates to me and my brand personally, but I would suggest typing out anything that relates to you, your brand, or any personal projects that you may be working on. So here I'm just going to go art, all caps, and then I'm going to go and then at the bottom we'll do time, again all caps, and up here I'll put a period after that, art. And then from here it should look something like that. So now we can edit our style again. So now that we're in our edit style section, I'm going to go to the design tab here, and I'm going to locate the tracking. And now I'm going to go down to the leading, and what the leading does is basically shortens the space in between each of the rows that we've created here. So I'm just going to shorten these rows up some until it looks something like that. So now what I want to do is just expand this out pretty big to, a decent size on our canvas. And now what we can do is also go back to our actions menu up here, and then we're going to go to canvas, and then we can go to drawing guide, edit drawing guide, and here all the way at the end we'll see the symmetry tab. So we're going to click on that one time, and what that should do is create a center line straight down the middle of our screen. And what that's going to allow for us to do is if we tap back into our text layer, there's going to be a little green and blue dot up here, and that will basically signify the center of our design, just so we can keep everything centered on our canvas, just to make the process a lot easier going forward. Okay, so now once we have that, what I want to do is duplicate this one time, and I'm going to hide this layer for now. And now here what I want to do is go ahead and edit this text. So I'm going to delete all of this now, and I'm just going to type out my brand name, which is Quattro Supply. So let's type out Quattro and then Supply. I'm going to go with all lowercase for this section. And now that we have that, what I want to do now is go ahead and edit this text again, and we're going to select everything, and let's go ahead and change this color to red. So we're going to go with a deep dark red, something kind of in that area, like a rusty Iron Man kind of red almost. So now that we have our secondary graphic typed out, I want to bring back in our original graphic, the art all the time. And now we're going to go to our layers panel, and we're going to drag the Quattro Supply, the secondary graphic, underneath. And now we're just going to do a little bit of tweaking just to make sure everything lines up a little bit nicer. So let's go ahead and drag this right about there, and I think that looks pretty cool so far. And now what I want to do is add in one more text layer. So we're going to add in text again, edit that style, and we're going to keep it the same font. Now here with the subtext, it can be anything you want. It could be the city that you're from, it could be a date established, but for this I'm just going to type out my website. So we're going to go quattrosupply.com and make sure that fits in the space nicely, and then we're just going to shrink that to size and also make sure that that fits within our graphic as well. And I think this is looking really good so far. So now what we can do is go ahead and swipe right on all of these, and we can group these up, and we can rename this group our design group. And now that we have our design layers grouped up, what we can do is go ahead and duplicate this, and we're going to hide this bottom one, and on the top one, the one we just duplicated, we're going to flatten it. And what the flatten does is basically it turns everything we've just created into a single object. And the good thing is that we already prepared our canvas for our mockups by creating that symmetry layer a little bit earlier on in the process. So now from here, what we could do is just add in a new layer. And then for my mockups, I always use Quattro's Procreate Supply Pack. So I'm going to go to Quattro's Tops now and scroll through a couple of these options because I think I want to go with the double layer T front brush. And now we can go to our canvas and we can tap down one time, and the mockup template appears just like that. Quick, simple, and easy. And then we can drag this out and make sure it's aligned again with that middle symmetry line that we created earlier. And that'll be very helpful again just with the process in general. And now that our mockup is on our screen and looks good, what we could do is rename this, and we can call this our outline layer. And now let's go ahead and duplicate our outline, and we're going to lock this top one down. And now the reason that we do that is because we want to go ahead and start adding in some color to this bottom one. and we want to keep our main outline kind of as our template that we're working into. So now we have our two main outlines, and what I want to do from here is create another layer. Since it was so easy to go ahead and drop that mockup down, what we can do now is start being creative and adding in our colors and our designs. So I'm going to find a dark gray brownish color, probably something in this area, and I'm going to drag that right onto our screen. And then from here, what I can do is take our secondary outline, the one that's not locked, and this color we just dragged and dropped onto our screen, and we can pinch these two together. And what that'll do is it'll merge the color and our outline layer into one group. But of course, we're only looking to work on our mockup here, so we want to take anything that's in the background off of our screen. So in order to do that, let's go up here to our selection tools, and then we're going to go to automatic, and then we can tap one time in the background, and then what we could do is drag to the left or to the right to be able to select more or less of our selection. Like I said, we're only trying to knock out the background, so we want to make sure that our selection threshold is set to somewhere around 11 or 12, because anything more, and obviously it overtakes our entire canvas. So let's just reset that and do that one more time. So let's go to our selection, and we're going to tap one time in our background, and we can drag it slightly to about 10, 11, and then we can drag that right off of our screen. Okay, so now that that looks good, what I want to do is change the color of these sleeves. So I'm going to go back to our colors, and I'm going to find like a nice kind of off-white color, and I'm going to drag that right onto our sleeves now, just like that. Quick, simple, easy. And now that the base of our mockup is looking really nice, so what I want to do really quick is just duplicate that group. So here we are in the layers. I have the two design groups. We have our base that we just created with the color, and we also have our outline layer as well. Now what I want to do really quick is go down here to our background color, and let's just change this background color to a dark gray, similar to the color from our t-shirt. Now that we're here, since our t-shirt is a dark color, we don't also want a dark color on our text, on our font. So what we want to do is take our art all the time and our Camo Supply down here at the bottom, and we could just tap on these one time, and what we could do is press rasterize, and then we can rasterize this one again. And basically what the rasterize does is it takes it from being a live editable text into just a singular image like you would have pulled off Google or anything else. So now from here, now that we have our new design, we're going to tap it one time, and we're going to create a mask. And basically what a mask does is when your color is selected to black, this mask here is selected to white. And I'm going to go to Quattros brushes, and I'm going to use the rough wash brush, and I can just color right over this, and the mask kind of takes the hit in a sense for any of the distressing that we want to apply to our design, instead of directly affecting that design that we've created, because we don't want to destroy that, of course. And if you feel like you've done too much, what you could do is just change your color to white, and you can go through and erase again, because it's only affecting that mask. So but I'm going to leave the distressing on this graphic right about there. I think that looks really nice. So now that we have that, what we could do is go back to our background color, and we could turn that back white. And now we can turn back on our base layer and back on our outline layer, and we still have our new design hidden behind our base now. So we just want to adjust that really quick and drag that right on top of our base layer until it looks like it's now on our t-shirt. And now what we can do is just shrink this down and adjust it to size to fit it to where we'd want to. So for this, I think I'm just going to go with a center graphic, but if you'd want to, you can also make it a kind of pocket tee vibe. I think that looks really nice as well. Or if you wanted something on the back, you could do the same thing, but I think keeping it front and center looks pretty good to me. So now that our design is on our mockup, our design looks really good, but our mockup is looking pretty basic. So let's go ahead and add in some extra details to really punch up this mockup so it ties in nicely with our graphic. So I'm going to go above our base layer now, and I'm going to create a new layer. And on this new layer, I'm going to rename this our shadows. And also what I want to do is make sure this is selected to clipping mask, and that it's also selected to drawing assist. And since this is a t-shirt, we want to make sure that anything we do to one side, it copies onto the other, and that's exactly what the drawing assist on does. And now jumping right into these shadows, we want to start kind of outlining and following the natural curve of it, and that'll kind of dictate where a lot of the shadows would fall on the mockup. And I usually like to lay on my shadows pretty heavy at first, just to lay down a base layer, and then what we can do is just kind of go back and erase anything we don't want. But first what I'm going to do is decrease the opacity on this a little bit, and I think that's looking pretty nice so far. So I'm just going to go through and clean up some of these areas a little bit, and also making sure we get inside this collar area as well. Okay, and I'm pretty happy with how those shadows are looking so far. So now let's go ahead and add in another layer, and on this layer we're just going to call this our wash, if I could spell it, wash. And that'll kind of be the theme with a lot of these extra detailed layers, just to make sure that they only affect our base layer that we're working on. So on our wash layer here now, what I want to do is select the same kind of gray from our base of our t-shirt, but I'm just gonna make it a little bit lighter. So just a little bit lighter gray than, you know, our base. And again, we're in Quatro's brushes. I'm going to be using the rough wash brush now, the same brush we actually used to distress our font. I'm going to be using that again, and this is just another way to use it. A lot of these textures have multiple purposes that I like to use them for, and I would definitely suggest, you know, you guys kind of try them out and do the same as well. Figure out how you can use it in your personal workflow. But here we are with a lighter gray selected, and I'm just going to go through now and kind of start coloring in a little bit. It's kind of adding like a stonewash kind of vibe, vintage aesthetic a little bit to it, which I think looks really nice. So we could just go through like that, and if we want to, we can punch it up a little bit more in certain areas and add in a little bit more of that kind of chalky acid wash texture. So now what I want to do is here in our layers, I'm just going to put our wash layer below our shadows to make sure that our shadows kind of covers up the wash in certain areas, so we still get the shadow detail, but we also get the hints of the wash detail as well that kind of bleed through the shadows. And now what I want to do is add in one more layer, and I'm just going to be using the dry ink brush from Quatro's brushes now, and continuing with this kind of washed, old, faded, vintage shirt. I'm going to add in one more layer, and we're going to be adding in some distressing. I'm just going to be using a straight kind of brush. Any brush should be fine, but we want to make sure we're selected to drawing assist here, but not clipping mask. So for here, we can call this our distressing. And now here on our distressing, what I want to do is go down here to the bottom of our mockup, right here to the edge. And first I'm going to draw out kind of like a straight line like so, and again that's copying to both sides as well. And then from here I'm just going to kind of start drawing out like a sound wave kind of shape, and I'm going to be outlining it a couple times, just kind of showing that there's some distressing on this shirt and it's kind of ripping off at the bottom here. And here you can be as dramatic as you want with this. I like to stay pretty subtle with my distressing when I add it as a detail, but I will add a couple little stray frays and stuff like that, so that creates a nice little distressing effect just on the bottom of our t-shirt. And also on our neckline we can add in some distressing as well. So for the neckline it's a little bit different, but we're just going to kind of start here at our top, and I'm just going to be drawing like a big wave straight through our neckline, and as you see that creates that nice fraying effect on our neckline as well. So now here we can go through in certain areas again and add in some extra lines as well, and just kind of selling the effect of this distressed shirt. And while we're at it, let's also do the same thing on our sleeves as well. So on the sleeves it's the same kind of thing as the neckline, just a big wavy line that kind of overlays that main line from the mock-up. So now we have our bottom distressing, some sleeve distressing, also our collar distressing, and I'm going to show you really quick how to add in some rips and holes onto the actual body of the t-shirt, or at least how I like to do it. We're going to add in one more layer, and we're going to rename this our rip layer, and I'll show you guys really quick how I personally do my rips. So we're just going to zoom into the area where we want to place our first rip, and then so we're just going to draw out kind of like an up and down wave shape, and then we're just going to copy that on the bottom and just kind of follow through with that. So it should look something like that. And then from here we can drag in some color, and that's just gonna be the color black. So that's what we have to start out. So now I'm gonna add in two more smaller ones, just kind of like offshooting of the main one. Again, dragging in the color, and then we'll do another one right here as well. And you can kind of do these shapes any way you want. Like I said, this is just kind of how I do mine. I think it sells the effect pretty nicely. It might look a little crazy, large scale, but we're gonna drop it down to size. And then from here, we can kind of put that anywhere we'd want to. And then we're gonna just be duplicating it, so we can flip it any which way we'd want to, and place that in different areas on our shirt. And now for a final touch, what we want to do is go back to Quatro's brushes, and we're gonna locate the paint splatter brush. And this is actually a brush that I created myself. And the cool thing about the paint splatter brush is that every time you tap down, it appears a completely different color. And I think that just adds in a nice random pop to any kind of design that you're doing. So it might pop up blue sometimes, orange, green. It'll go through the entire color wheel. And I'm just going to kind of place that down a couple places around our main design. So now I'm just going to go back through our layers one more time. So we have our outline layer, we have our new design with our mask on it as well, and then we have our rips and our paint on one layer as well, just to kind of condense our layers so we don't have too many layers we're working with. And then we have our distressing all around, from our collar to our sleeves to our base, and then we have our shadows, of course. We also have that nice wash we created, and then we have our base layer as well, where everything kind of rests on. And then down here, we still have our original design layer. If we wanted to go back and make any adjustments there, we still have the opportunity to do that as well. And yeah, if you enjoyed the video, be sure to leave a like, comment, and subscribe. The Procreate Supply Pack and other products of mine are available now on my website at quatrosupply.com. So if you're interested, definitely be sure to check those out. There's also a lot we didn't get to go over today, which is fine. Just be sure to leave a comment below of what you want to see more of, and I got y'all with that. And yeah, I'll see you on the next one. Peace.